As much as we all like to rip on men, this is time to take some accountability.
By the way,
slander. That's crazy.
Hold on, not that there's anything wrong.
He said he was slandering them. I think he has a black wife.
Stop. Not that there's anything wrong with having a black wife, but there's all kinds of like disinformation. I've heard something the other day that accused Rachel falsely of that she was an ex. One of these people on Twitter was saying she was like an ex-adult content creator. Furthest thing from the truth. Yeah. She's not been involved in any sort of S work. So there's a lot of misinformation related to Andrew, Rachel, their relationship. I don't know the specific details. He's not here, but that's what I can tell you.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay. Any other disagreements from anybody on anything? I have it in my pre-show notes, but I wanted to prompt you guys. No? Gone once, gone twice, 3 times. Nope. Okay. Here, why don't we start with, we're going to go to our secured party creditor, Julie. Julie, you said you think with 5 eyes, it potentially is narrowing the pool of women who men will date. I think you're talking about the show. At least men who enjoy the show. Aren't we looking at a huge number of people not dating, having sex now? Studies are showing and predicting terrible outcomes. My concern pertains to continuing humanity. So do you want to clarify on that?
Yeah. So I actually agree with pretty much everything that gets discussed on the show. And that actually brought up a question for me. So I don't know if you have, like when you started the show, if you have an agenda in terms of what audience you hope to reach or what things you hope to change. But my perspective from having watched many, many shows was, or for a while, was that it was kind of getting women to see the nature of their ways and how it's not ideal for them. And I think it's moving people towards a good ideal. But then after listening to one of your former guests on the debate, I listened to another podcast the other day, and it was just talking about, like they were seeing it such a decrease in the number of people dating. Obviously a decrease in the number of children being born, so on and so forth. People are not even having sex anymore, things like that. So one of the things that guest had pointed out was that it's getting men to hate women. And I kind of see where he could be correct in some ways. And so I feel
birth rates were already in decline before the explosion of red pill. I would have to point you in the direction of feminism for causation.
I think it's fine to kind of shape women to be a particular way, and not everyone may agree with me on that, because I think it's what's best. I think order is best, and it exists for a reason. But I do think it might be affecting the dating situation, people having sex, people procreating, and so on.
The show?
Maybe.
Okay, yeah, I would approach this a couple different ways. The first thing I would say is that while the podcast is successful, I wouldn't say that its reach is particularly mainstream. I think there's 5,000-6,000 people watching at the moment. I don't really think that is a substantial subset of the dating marketplace. I mean, it accounts for probably a very small amount of people. Of course, you would maybe argue, well, the clips, they have further reach, and I would agree. But I don't think, for example, as compared to a podcast like Call Her Daddy, which is consumed by a massive demographic of women between the ages of 18 or even younger than that, actually, and 30, 34, primarily in the United States, the whatever audience has a much more global reach. I would say that Call Her Daddy has a far more damaging effect insofar as the host, what's her name, Alex or whatever? Yeah, Alex Cooper, I think. She's a massive proponent of promiscuity and does not have very good prescriptions for how young women should date. But so my first counter would just be, okay, my podcast does not have such a substantial reach that it would have some sort of impact on the birth rate. But to actually address your argument of, okay, well, it's making men hateful, I would just ask you, what specific topics or what specific things have I said that would be making men hateful? What's the rhetoric that I'm espousing that Well, it's her thing, so
Okay, I'll wait.
Well, I guess it's not a major issue that I have, but what I've probably watched over 40 or listened to 40 episodes.
Sure.
So when I'm listening, I'll just jot down notes. So it's not like a major gripe or anything. It's just a comment, especially knowing that I might come on the show. So yeah, I definitely have acknowledged that the audience is not so large that, there's obviously other issues at hand. I was hearing more information elsewhere, that we're looking at, obviously social media, pornography, COVID, all of these things have contributed to the decrease in these areas.
Right, but
it was more so just a side note. It's not
right. It was also a side note for me to just point out that I don't think my audience is.
Does YouTube give you stats?
Hold on. Okay. Is exceptionally large. Yes, there's robust YouTube analytics. But to my question, what specific things have I espoused that you would point to as it relates to men starting to hate women? Like, what am I advocating for on the podcast that would make men hate women?
Actually, probably nothing that you've said. I think more so when Andrew's here, and I love Andrew, and I like I said, I agree with these.
I'll defend Andrew.
I agree.
What
with
has
these
Andrew?
things.
Hold on. What has Andrew said that will lead men to hate women?
It's not the fact that Brian or Andrew has said anything hateful in particular. It's the fact that women have come on the show and exposed the dark side of the nature. Now the truth has come to light and men are finally waking up. That's the problem.
Being put on the spot. I guess just looking at removing, I don't know, maybe hate is not the right word. Did I say hate in what I...
it doesn't look like in your pre-show notes, but just right now in person, you did mention that my viewership, some of them might start hating women. So
I guess in terms of looking at the dating pool, right? So if women have body count, which I'm totally in agreement with, preferring a small body count, but I think it's just excluding women in general. And I think a lot of times, because I think it myself too, with the conversation, sometimes I'm sitting here going, she's a freaking idiot. And I'm thinking these things, so I'm thinking there might be a lot of men thinking the same thing as well. So I don't know. Maybe I misspoke.
But so if a woman comes on the podcast and says something problematic or stupid or whatever, I don't think that would be evidence of something that I'm doing. Like if a girl comes on here and says that she's, I don't know, a murderer or something, I don't know. I think it'd be fair justification for people to probably hate her. But so I guess what am I doing? What am I espousing? Hold on, she gets to go first, but then you can weigh in.
Okay.
What am I espousing that would lead men to hate women? I'm just, again, I'm not I'm not trying to do a gotcha where I need like a specific verbatim quote. I'm just looking for a sense of what you think I'm saying or doing that would lead men to hate women.
No, and to be fair, I don't think there is anything that you're doing.
Gotcha, bitch.
So perhaps that was not the best comment.
You wanted to weigh in?
I don't know. I just wanted to point, I don't know too much about Andrew. I don't know. I think is it the PragerU person?
No.
Is it? Oh, well, okay. I don't know who that is, but just the nature of the presentation of those two sex dolls back there would lead some men to have a certain reaction to this.
Huh?
But that seems a little infantilizing to be like, to let women speak, to like, okay, if like someone makes an ass out of themselves, then it's, oh God, like you collectively give them a place to speak and they said stupid things. It's like, that's a little infantilizing.
So I'm happy to explore that, but it seemed like when I was saying, what do I do or what do I say in terms of, what do I espouse that would lead men to hate women? I just want to be clear.
Well,
hold on.
Okay.
The first thing you cited to was the presence of mannequins.
The inherent presentation of this, on the screen.
On the screen.
Yeah, the way you're displaying the women and the sex dolls behind
Well,
them.
can you wait, the way I'm displaying the mannequins?
They're not mannequins.
Sure, okay, fine. Yeah, they're sex dolls.
They have clothes on.
But hold on. But
Yeah.
so what is the way in which I'm displaying them, aside from their presence, that you find objectionable?
No, I'm just saying, if you look at what a symbol is, that's a symbol back there.
What?
How? Hold on, bro. How?
Right?
What evidence? Hold on. What do you mean by that?
Well,
What's a
okay, you
symbol?
bring on women to the show,
That is true.
and behind them, you put 2 sex dolls. It's okay. If it's not self-evident, then I won't explain it.
No.
I'm assuming she's trying to say Brian's trying to sexualize them, but I wouldn't consider that hate. So you gotta try again.
Attempt to explain it because it isn't self-evident, so you'll have to explain it.
Well, one has her tongue out.
Yeah, that's called the Hago. Yeah.
Okay, well, there's certain, people read images, right? People look at an image and something comes
Yep.
to their mind.
I agree with that.
So if you look at this image, you see women sitting in a
yes.
circle with you,
Yeah, yep. I'm on.
and
I
then
agree there.
directly behind.
What's it?
It's okay, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but so I agree with your observation.
Okay.
Your observation is correct.
Okay.
That there are the dolls in the studio and there are women in the studio. What's the inference?
It's an image that infers that women, are disposable, sort of, and for sex.
You're a victim. Here we go, CSI.
Disposable and for sex.
Yeah. So how do you arrive at that conclusion?
I don't know. It's not that difficult.
I mean, I
It's
could
like
do. So you're just
yeah.
creating. Well, it's not that difficult. Explain it
to
me
read
then.
an image. Everyone.
It's simple, really. It's feelings over facts because it's making her feel away. There is no logic to it.
Reads images.
Straighten up with the mic.
Sorry. Yeah.
So to read an image.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an objective truth that because I have those dolls in the studio, that is misogyny, or what are you trying to say?
If you watch a movie, right, and Quentin Tarantino, you watch Kill Bill, right?
Okay.
You're reading those images from Kill Bill different ways, and that's what the director does, is he puts things in the frame of the film,
Okay.
right, to make you infer certain things in the frame.
Right.
Well,
Okay, so I agree with you that they're there.
yeah.
How do you arrive at the conclusion that it's some sort of like misogyny?
I don't know what is the purpose of them. Is it just like
but
a
you
joke?
made the claim. You made the claim. I don't need to explain why they're there.
Well,
I
what's the
will.
intention of them?
Well,
yeah.
hold on.
Okay.
Well, but you've already come to the conclusion. So I'm trying to figure out how you establish that. I'm not going to make the argument for you. You're going to have to provide
I already
some
said
evidence.
what it is. It's that
No, but you've just said, okay, well, there's palm trees
you're
behind
equating
you.
women with sex
There's-
dolls.
Here we go again.
How
There's
are you
an
even coming
equation
to that
there.
conclusion?
Well, why are they there?
Why? Okay, why would that? I don't. I'm failing to see how that equates. Like,
No,
how
I
do
just
you
want to
arrive-
know what your intention is putting them there.
No, but it's not that you want to know. You've already come to a determination.
Well, that was my interpretation of what they represent. That's mine, right? But I want to know what your intention was so that I know that maybe I have the wrong interpretation.
I'm happy to dive into it, but I just want to be clear.
Okay.
So when I ask,
Yeah.
what is something that I espouse or something that I do that would make men hate women? And the first, typically oftentimes when people are going to provide some evidence for a claim, it's
Yeah.
going to be the strongest evidence first. So just to be clear, the first evidence you're going to provide
I'm giving you
is
my
that
interpretation
there
of that.
happens to be sex dolls in the studio.
Yes, that's
Question.
my interpretation
Would it-
of what they mean.
Let me ask you a question. Would
Yeah.
it be offensive if they were males? And would this be like hatred? Would I be espousing hatred towards men if those sex dolls happen to be men?
Well, they're not, though, are they?
But would that be an entailment of your logic?
If you had male sex dolls there-
what about them being there is gonna
Wait, let me
make
get
a
an
man
answer.
hate a woman?
No, just like when you look at a picture, right? You get an immediate feeling, an emotion.
An emotion, a feeling. So you're telling me you weren't thinking.
You're talking about feelings. What about looking at this
People
is gonna make a
respond to
man
things a certain way.
immediately
Are you a
hate a woman?
feminist?
Like
Yeah,
yeah, sure. I'm,
she's a feminist film.
it doesn't
studies,
matter.
whatever.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
But so if they were male sex dolls, would that be evidence of my...
They would be comedic if they were male. You'd be doing it as a joke.
But it's oppressive because they're female.
No, if maybe it's a joke.
How do you know their gender? What if their gender is non-binary?
Okay, they're non-binary sex dolls.
Are they even in frame?
They're not. They don't have a gender. They're plastic, so it's fine.
To me, sex didn't even come up. I saw all the other props.
But it's about rhetoric.
Wait, but
right?
I also behind me, I have like Spartan, like male Spartan.
Well, those are symbols of strength.
It's about like the message coming out of it, right? So like, what's the rhetoric? That's the problem, is right? So like,
proud Roman heritage, strength,
understanding why it's so offensive.
Conquering armies.
I don't understand why it's so offensive with it being women, but
it's not offensive. I'm not offended. I'm just pointing out the way people read a certain, like,
but
they
if
look
there were
at
guys,
this
it'd
and
be fine. It'd be funny if it was guys. That makes no sense.
No,
to me.
but they're not guys, though, are they? If they were guys, then it would be funny.
And it's funny because they're women. I don't understand
it's
your
funny.
Perspective on why
He never answered why he put them there. I was asking.
wait, but okay, explain the discrepancy.
Yeah, well,
It is.
I'll give you a
funny.
couple. I'll give you a couple answers. So the first answer is I had a couple different companies. There's 2 separate companies who reached out to me, offered to provide them for free. The second thing, hold on. The second thing was this was very early when we started back in July of 2022. Guys, be quiet, please. This was in July of when I first started the podcast, July 2022. I was like, you know what? If we ever have no shows or anything, and I want to make it look like we have a full table, and you can look at some older episodes where we did have flakes, and we will bring up one of the dolls, so it as like kind of a jokey thing. It's like, oh, we have a full table here. So that's one of the reasons.
So I misinterpreted it.
That's one of the reasons. And then I also used to do a gambit or bit where one of them was actually my co-host. So really, I think this is actually elevating women because I granted I granted like an inanimate object my co-host status. And I did that to a female sex doll, not a male sex doll. So actually, I think that points to my sexism towards men, not towards women. And also the fact that they're both women, I think that would point towards this sort of, the fact that they're not men shows like a lack of inclusivity towards male sex dolls.
Then put a male sex doll there.
No, but I'm actually...
Are there male sex dolls?
I think my audience is going to completely turn against me because it actually shows a lack of inclusivity towards male sex dolls, pointing towards my sexism. The fact that there's no male sex dolls actually is just really, I'm a sexist towards men.
So you can change your ways and put a male sex doll.
But I could just do this narrative spin framing of the reason they're there is because like I think women are so wonderful that I only have female sex dolls. Like we can just do narrative spin.
Okay, sure.
And then he F's them when
I'll take your
nasty bitch.
I'll take your version.
Chastity's intact, okay?
I'll take your version of it.
But like I don't understand. So
that was just my interpretation. It's
Wait,
fine.
what about the like difference? We should dive into like the discrepancy between male and female. Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
Y'all smoking crack. Something is wrong with you people.
Like why? What is the articulation that would make the delineation work?
Wait.
So I'm guessing she's one of these far left wokies that don't know what a woman is. This should be interesting.
Hold on.
It's just they're plastic sex dolls
Shit.
and then
I am so sorry, guys. My Streamlabs got bugged. So these came in a while ago. Grid 1. I'm so sorry. I did not see these.
Grid 1's
we'll get if you want to wrap up on it, we can. I'm going to let these chats come through. Grid 1. I'm super sorry that I just missed these. I was so caught up defending my female sex dolls. I apologize.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
But I'm gonna
attacking your inanimate objects in the corner.
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $200 and
okay, so maybe I was wrong.
Rachel had 2 long-term relationships that did result in children without marriage. Andrew married her and had children. He and Rachel came to Christ and the church, and is the difference.
Okay, all right. Grid 1, thank you so much, man. Cheers to you. I apologize for the delay on these. Thank you, though. Thank you. Thank you.
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $200.01. The piece you are missing is you have no remorse and have not changed. You are still a sex worker. You have not come to Christ and need to evaluate your lifestyle choices. Be better.
I'm actually no longer a sex worker.
So that was a f***ing lie.
Oh, so
W.
Nice. Couple more chats coming through. Chef Dill Pickles. Also, I apologize for the delay on this.
Chef Dill Pickles donated $200. Chair 2 is out of breath just talking about how she failed a raw shit test that she made up in her mind.
Bop, boom, pow.
Do you want to respond to
Was that directed
Chair
to
2? You're Chair 2, yeah.
Oh, I'm Chair 2.
Yeah, Chair 1, Chair
I'm
2.
Eugenia. Hi. That's what anyone who makes films, they intentionally put things in the frame, and that's what I was interpreting.
Yeah, but I'm not exactly like Scorsese over here.
You are making something, right? No. Well, then you're just putting it there without thinking about it.
I've been looking for the dog whistles.
Yeah, hold on, just to be clear, wait, can you reach behind you and lift up that picture of a shirtless man?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Oh, okay.
It's weird. I didn't hear you.
I missed it.
Hold
I
on.
didn't see
I
him.
did not hear you. I'm objectifying this man here. I'm surprised there wasn't any commentary about the fact that I have a picture of a shirtless man.
He's not visible in
objectifying
frame.
him.
Is he visible?
Sometimes he is.
Neither are they.
Sometimes they're not really visible, but
okay.
I think it's interesting. You focus on the sex dolls who are
I
fully
didn't
clothed.
notice him.
Fully clothed, by the way. Here I have a picture of a shirtless man. I also have a black man also in the studio.
Listen, that's great. Patrice is great.
A lot of objectification going on.
Oh, yeah. You got all your tokens?
I get it. There wasn't as much. I put more intention there than there was. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else or
no?
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, some more chats, guys. Grid One, I appreciate your patience, man. Sorry again about that. Dave Richards, child support is such a scam. You should have Jeff Younger on, and he explains. I'll read Rachel's in a sec. Explains how these females weaponize the courts to bankrupt men. It's disgusting, especially if the father is a willing father.
Yeah,
child support is a scam.
Pop out a child to get $500 a month.
You know what, guys? You know what I want to do? I'm. You know what? I need to start a men's rights organization. And if anybody wants to volunteer, and then like legitimate organization, nonprofit.
How many nonprofits? Big Labia nonprofit.
I know. It's a lot. Men can see the obvious misandry on TikTok. Feminists think your man-hating is only seen by their women. Delusional. You are the reason men reject you. Sex workers and feminists equal red flag.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
That super chat was very crucial. Men don't have to go to the whatever podcast to build a resentment towards women. All you have to do is log into TikTok and see all the feminist misandrous hate directed towards men. It's plastered everywhere.
That's what I call a chain reaction.
Manifest my own destiny. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. The perfect recipe. May they remember me. My words will live on. I'm guided by an energy, a flame. Hold it close to you. Check out my melodies. It's the media that's been leading you. I'll show you a thing. Misdirection was the message. They don't want you to win.
As much as we all like to rip on men, this is time to take some accountability.